Hawaii, first of all, is in the center of the Pacific, center of the planet, center of the universe. So I think physically, we are the crossroads of all peoples of the world. And historically, even prior to the invasion of 1893 by the U.S. Marines, Hawaii had already begun to become the United Nations of the world, the Geneva of the world at that point. And Lili'uokalani, I think, is a fine example of someone who believes in the rights of all people to pursue liberty and justice. Even at the landing of 160 U.S. Marines with Gatling guns and all the fanciest equipment of the time, who were posted right across Iolani Palace at that time, pointing their guns at the palace. Instead of reacting in a manner by using her own military might, which would have actually, they believe, would have been able to defeat those. She believed in law, and she believed in justice, and she believed that the rule of law would prove itself out. And so she yielded to the superior forces at that time, with the belief that at one time this would be corrected. And in a non-violent manner, as a lesson to the world against, at that time, the emerging power, world power, the United States, which from that time on, the United States have actually become not just an emerging world power, but have become, at this point in time, the most powerful military supreme commander of the world. In fact, one interesting fact is the U.S. military spends as much on its military as the next 13 militaries in the world combined. That shows the awesome might of the U.S. military. However, the legacy from Lili'uokalani is that even with their military might, you cannot buy justice, you cannot buy equality. And Lili'uokalani has proven that, because the Hawaiian people to this day have stood fast, only pa'a, believing that justice will be served in one day for all of us. And included on top of that is that we as a Kingdom of Hawaii was not a racial kingdom at all. In fact, we had people from all over the world as part of citizenry within the Kingdom of Hawaii. And this, of course, is, and why, this of course leads to the question why Americans or other imperialist military expansions really, I really hate Hawaiians. I really hate what Lili'uokalani stood for, is that because she stands for something which is in fact the greatest threat to them. And that is, people power is the greatest threat to military power. We will be free, and I always use this quote, Mokapu Marine Aircraft Station right now is the home of the Kaneohe Marines. And they control that home because of the might of the gun, not because of the power of truth. But if we have Kanaka Maoli and non-Kanaka, if we organize 25,000 people to Mokapu, Mokapu would be ours again. In regards to what we offer the world, we are the world. There's no other people probably that you're going to find that's more ethnically diverse than the Kanaka Maoli. And yet we still endure as a people. And we will continue to endure. Even after all this colonization process, even after this miseducation, degradation, and continued occupation of our homeland, we still endure. And the lesson that I learned, and I think to me this is the final thing I want to speak on, is that, as I learned from one kupuna, the strongest swimmers swim in the roughest seas. And we as a people, there's no place in the world that's as militarized, culturized, nuclearized, missionized as these islands, and yet we still endure. So that's really a testament to the strength of our people. Yeah. So, are we the strongest swimmers? Yes. There's no other people that face the kinds of obstacles that we face and still endure, and we will continue to endure. Iola.